Welcome back, everybody. This is Matt from RVTravelAdventures.com. Today we're talking about Hillsborough River State Park, located just outside of Tampa on the Orlando side of the state, about halfway in between Tampa and Orlando. We're going to run it through our standard campground rating system, where we talk about ease of entry, how easy was it for us to get into the site. We're going to look at their overall site size. How big was the site privacy? Did we feel secluded? Were we right and stacked up next to our neighbors? Activities within the park, hiking, water sports, restaurants. Amenities within the park as far as the bathhouse, power, sewer, dump station, stores, and roads. Any nearby attractions that were close by. We're going to rank it on would we stay here for a week, and then give an overall gut reaction that gives us a little bit of playroom if there was something that really wowed us. We'll total up those scores, divide it out, and give you a 5-star rating when we get through. Okay, so let's talk about Hillsborough River State Park here in Central Florida. Our first category is always ease of entry. We had no problem getting into our site. The roads were nice and wide and paved. Most of the sites were hard-packed shells. We had no problem backing in our 30-foot trailer. We did see some larger rigs, some big fifth wheels that had a lot of trouble getting in depending on the site, just because of the trees and stuff. They were having trouble with their turning radius. So you might want to check the surroundings and some photos if you have a bigger rig. Overall site size was fantastic. We had a nice big site, lots of room. A lot of the sites were kind of narrow. We saw a few people, they could barely get their awning out and their chairs out. So again, you might want to check out campsite photos, do a little research on the internet before you pick your site if you're looking for a lot of outside space. As far as site privacy, we scored this fairly low. There was not a lot of privacy within this section of the park. It was very open and the sites were very close together. So although it was wooded and there was a great canopy and shade, there was not a lot of brush down low. So you could absolutely see through all the way across the inside loop into the outside loops. Not a whole lot of privacy. On the outer loops, if you were on the outside, there was a little bit more privacy. As you got it, there was a little bit more vegetation, but there was only a few sites that actually had any privacy at all. Ours was on a corner, so it was not private at all. Everybody could see into our site. We could see everything that was going on around us in probably 20 or 30 sites without even getting out of our chair. We had great quiet neighbors, so it wasn't an issue. However, if you get some more rambunctious neighbors, this could potentially be an issue. The RV on the back side of ours, their awning went out was only about 4 feet from the side of our slide out. So they were pretty close together there. As far as activities within the park, there was lots to do. We were there in 2020 during the coronavirus pandemic, so a lot of the activities were closed to us, but walk around the park, we can see that in a normal year, when we get back and get everything open, there is plenty to do in this park. We did take advantage of a fantastic Hillsborough River kayaking. We did take our kayaks with us because their rental kayak section was closed, but there was a pool, a very large pool. They had kayak rentals, bike rentals, hiking trails, all available to you. A lot of it was closed, but hopefully in 2021, we'll see all those facilities back open for everybody to enjoy. This will be a great park for families with the pool, the hiking, the bikes, all the activities. There is plenty to keep your family busy. The next thing we want to talk about is the overall amenities within the park, and they were fairly good. There was a single dump station that we did not get into a line, but when we finished dumping, there were 3 or 4 people lined up waiting to dump. We were there on a holiday weekend, and it was just the single dump station, so just be aware of that if you're checking out on a busy day. But overall, the bathhouse was good. It was close by. There was a pot washing sinks on the outside. Their store was closed, but it looked like they had some interesting stuff in there. There was a little restaurant, so the amenities were fair, nothing over the top. Nearby attractions, we talked about this, and Tampa Bay, the beaches, St. Pete, Clearwater, all about a 40-45 minute drive. So if you were there for a week, definitely a worthwhile day trip. However, there was nothing immediately outside the park. You're looking at a good 15-20 minute drive just to get to the nearest small town. So keep that in mind if you're going for an extended period of time. There is plenty to do in the area, either heading over to Orlando and the attractions there or over to the Tampa Bay area, but it is going to be about a 45 minute drive in either direction. Would we stay for a week? It was kind of neutral for us. This is close to home, so it's kind of not a fair rating. It was a nice, quiet park. It was very relaxing. If we happen to get the bad luck of the draw and have some noisy neighbors or bad weather, then it would make it real tough because the outside activities from the park are a bit of a drive, and everything inside the park is very much dependent on nice weather, and everybody can see what you're doing. So kind of middle of the road on that one for us at least. But if you're coming to the area from out of town, it's a great centralized location. Overall reaction was kind of the middle of the road for us as well. We were there a busy holiday weekend, so there was a lot going on. It was a little bit noisier than we prefer. We kind of like the peace and quiet. We didn't like having neighbors quite so close to us. That's why we stay in the state parks, as we like a little bit more seclusion. But for a holiday weekend, we considered it a win. Okay, so we'll tally up our scores. Ease of entry, we give it 4 stars. Easy for us. If you have a big rig, just be a little careful. Site size, we give it 4.5 stars. We had a nice big site on the front side. The back site was really tight though, so just watch your placement. Site privacy, we went ahead and gave it 1.5 stars. You could see everything into everybody else's sites, and they can see everything you're doing. Activities within the park, we gave 5 stars. So there's tons. There's hiking trails, the pools, everything else. So 5 stars on the activity front. Amenities within the park, we gave it 3 stars. The big drawback was the single dump station. There was a line to get out in the morning on Sunday. But other than that, there was plenty to do in the park. Nearby attractions, we actually gave it 2.5 stars. There's plenty to do outside of the park, but it's going to take you a good 45 minutes to get to all those attractions. Would we stay here for a week? We gave it 3. It was relaxing. We enjoy kayaking, so there's plenty for us to do in the park. But there is not much outside of the park, so I wouldn't put it on the top of our stays for a long week. Overall reaction, we gave it 3 stars. They gave us an average rating of about 3.5 stars for this park. We loved it. It's close to our house, so we will definitely be back. But it definitely, if you're looking for something private and quiet, you might want to choose another one of the beautiful Florida state parks. Thanks as always for checking out our videos. This is Matt from RVTravelAdventures.com. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, right here on YouTube. Be sure to click that like and subscribe button so you can follow along with our adventures. Be safe, guys, and we'll see you out there on the road.